regardless of what we feel, the card said that Sean O'Malley won the fight. And now the new UFC rankings are out. And Sean O'Malley is ranked #1. He's the #1 challenger in the bantamweight rankings. Does this mean, DC, that his next fight is Aljamain Sterling? If you thought people were pissed off he got to fight Petr Yan, wait till you see how mad they are if he gets Aljamain Sterling next. But the other part is this. Right now, Merab is ranked #2, DC, and he says he's never fighting Aljamain Sterling anyway. So maybe this was the move you had to make.
You know what's crazy is that the problem with Merab being #2 is Merab can possibly be like a blocker to Aljamain Sterling because he's so good that he's going to beat pretty much anyone else but the guy that he's not willing to face. I love that the division is so deep, and so talented. But I don't know if Sean O'Malley gets a title fight off of that decision. But if I'm the UFC, I'm trying to make an O'Malley versus Aljamain Sterling fight because Sean O'Malley is such a star. But if I'm going to do my matchmaking for the sport, Ryan Clark, I got to go in a little bit of a different direction. So when I matchmake for the sport and not for the organization, I go Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo because Henry Cejudo walked away from the championship as the double champ. If he's coming back, he should walk into a title fight. I'll do O'Malley versus Sandhagen. I would not put O'Malley in there with Merab because I feel like Merab's going to just keep taking him down, and you might not get the opportunity to possibly see him fight for a championship. I think him and Sandhagen is a much more favorable, not favorable for Sean, but much more fun fight for the world to watch because these guys are going to go at it. They're both diverse. They're both very exciting fighters. But I'll go Merab Dvalishvili versus Marlon Chito Vera because Chito Vera is big for the weight. He's on a run, and he has shown an ability to fight everyone. And I think it would force Merab into another one of those fun fights like we saw him have with Marlon Moraes, and Marlon Moraes almost had him out of there a couple years ago when they fought. So I'm going Sterling Cejudo for the belt. Guys, give Aljamain one more opportunity to just kill all the questions, Ryan. Like, there will be no more questions if he beats Henry Cejudo after beating Petr Yan and TJ Dillashaw. Then you go O'Malley, Sandhagen, Dvalishvili versus Vera.
I like that. Listen, I think you go Cejudo, Sterling as well for all the reasons that you said. And one, Henry Cejudo doesn't need to work his way up there because even if he comes back and he fights his first fight and he's not great, then it takes away a little bit of the excitement from the championship fight. Or if he loses, you never get the championship fight. I want to see Sean O'Malley fight Chito Vera again. Remember, Chito Vera was the guy that gave us just leg kick him and you beat him. Remember we got that? And now Chito Vera has gone on a run where he's had these amazing knockouts and he's knocked out, some of the legends of the sport. And I think if he gets an opportunity against Sean O'Malley, who has now risen to #1, I believe that's a fight that everybody tunes into, everybody wants to see, and it truly validates Sean O'Malley being in the spot that he's in. And I'd like to see Merab versus Corey Sandhagen because I believe it gives us the same things that you're expecting. I think you picked Vera from a Vera fight from Merab, but I also think Corey Sandhagen is always double dutching right on that. I'm elite. I'm not necessarily the champion, but I'm right there anyway. And it really pushes Merab to dig deep and find some of those things that we've gotten to see in some of his exciting fights that we didn't get to necessarily get from him against Jose Aldo in the last.
Ryan, that's a great list. But the beauty in those two lists is that we have 6 guys that are fighting at that level. And now Sean O'Malley is one of those 6. And as a star, as he is now, it really does make the division interesting.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.